So at ESA, that's, at least in my experience, has been the important achievement that we've done together, is we've created a community that really does enhance the experience of learning. And it's not about increasing the average that you have in the class, or necessarily about trying to even make your work better. It's working together to make one another better. And for me, that's what has been important. That's what I've seen is really differentiating our experiences in the visual art department from experiences at other schools and other institutions around the world.
How do you do that? How do you make it better for each other?
That's a hard question. I think that there at least in the every instance would be different, but at ESA a lot of it had to do with not necessarily the quality, but the initiative that the teacher took themselves. I think that the students can carry it, but it's hard for the students to create it from scratch. It's hard for students, especially who are coming in grades 9 and 10, if they haven't had experiences in a community before where they've really been asked to challenge the way that they're thinking, or the way that other people are thinking, or the way their parents have thought. It's really important to have somebody there who is able to open up that window of conversation, and who is able to engage the students in conversations that will lead to them building relationships among one another, both inside and outside of the classroom. And I think that both of those environments, both the inside of the classroom and outside, are both very important, and neither of them can be favored over the other. Because, for example, I only have one or two friends in the visual art department who I spend time with outside of the actual classroom. But I don't think that necessarily deters from the relationships that I have with people when I'm inside the classroom. I think that you can still be extremely compassionate and extremely understanding towards another person and their experiences, even if you don't necessarily know everything about them. And a classroom gives you an opportunity to share those experiences with one another. And I think that a lot of people find learning detached from their everyday lives. There's a lived reality outside of school, and then there's the learning environment within it. And they have to come to this centralized location to be able to experience the learning process. And this process often includes things like tests, quizzes, exams, and all other forms of evaluation that most students have to be involved in. But if the classroom can give the student the tools that they need to be able to learn outside of the classroom, I think that that's something that's infinitely more powerful, and something that's infinitely more important, at least from the standpoint of somebody who is an educator or is working towards a more progressive education model.